Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle. And it's called Under the Influence by Marty Sears. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means in every cell in the grid, place a single digit from 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region, which is a box in this case. We have influencer cells, where the grid contains 9 influencer cells, each in a different row, column, and box. Each in a different row, column, and box. And each containing a different digit. So there are 9 influencer cells in this grid. 1 per row, column, and box, and they all contain different digits, so there are no repeats in the influencer cells. Every cell in the grid has a value equal to its own digit plus the digits in any orthogonally adjacent influencer cells. So, for example, say we had an influencer cell here, and say it had like a okay, I have an example. So, for example, a cell containing a digit 2 would have a value of 10 if its neighbor is an influencer 3 and an influencer 5. Not 3, 5. Because 2 plus 3 plus 5 is 10. So every cell in the grid has a value equal to its own digit plus the digits in any orthogonally adjacent influencer cell. So an orthogonally adjacent just means sharing an edge with the influencer cell. So if, for example, you had this 2, which is orthogonally adjacent to this 3, which is an influencer cell, and this 5, which is an influencer cell, then you have to have the value of the cell would be 2 plus 3 plus 5, which is 10. However, say you had an influencer cell here. This would only be 2 plus 3 because it's not sharing an edge with this 5 influencer cell. So that's an example of how influencer cells work. We also have cages, where the small clue in the corner of a cage indicates the total value of the cells in that cage. So, for example, the total value of the cell in this cage is a 9. The total value of the cells in this cage is 6. And the total value of the cells in this cage is also 6. Same with these. Again, remember, you have influencer cells, which can change the value of cells away from its digit. Okay. And finally, we have region sum lines, where the 3x3 box borders divide blue lines into segments. The values on each segment have the same sum, though this sum can be different for different lines. So, for example, the sum of these two cells must be the sum of the values of these two cells must be equal to the sum of the value of this cell, which must be equal to the sum of the values of these cells. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting shapes here. So you got to remember that you have influencer cells, which will change the value of neighbor cells that share an edge with it. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. The sum of all these digits must be equal to the sum of this digit. That means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at minimum. Actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at minimum. 15 plus this is a value of 9. So it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Which this cell's value must equal. So that's 24. 15 plus 9 is 24. This cell must have a value of 24. That means, and it can only have 2 adjacent cells, which can be influencer. So it has to have those. That means you're the sum of 3 different variables. It could be 9, 9, and 8. The minimum is obviously 9, 7, and 8. For the influencer cell. And if this were the influencer cell, the problem is this would have its value too. So you'd have an additional value here. But there has to be an influencer cell in this box. Where can it be? If it's here, this will have the value of it. If it's here, this will have the value of it. If it's here, these two will have the value of it. If it's here, these two will have the value of it. If it's here, these two will have the value of it. So I think this actually has to be minimum. So we have a value of 9. Where is the influencer cell then? That's kind of the question, right? So there has to be an influencer cell in this box. This is at minimum value 1 through 5 plus 9. That's 24. We have to have an influencer cell here somewhere. So there could be an influencer cell here, and then this would be 8. And that could be 1. I think the influencer cell has to be on this line. If it's not on the line, then this is going to have a value at minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 9. Right? Because we know the value of this cell. We don't know what the values of any other cell on the line is. If it's here and here, this is going to have that value. So it's going to be the sum of essentially 6 cells here, which is 21 plus 9, which is 30, which 3 digits can never be. So this is... This cell can only have 2 influencers next to it. It can't have any more. If this were the influencer, the problem is whatever digit is in the cell is the same as will be essentially zeroed out by the rest of this line. So that means this is 9 and this is 19. So this and another digit, the other influencer cell, would have to be greater than that. Oh, you can't have 9 and 9. You have to have at most... It has to be 7, 8, 9. So then that does make, yeah. So this is at most 7, 8, and 9 because the influencer cells have to have different digits also. It can't be 9 and 9. So this, whatever cell is here, has to have a different value than all of these cells here, or a different digit than both of the influencer cells. And the influencer cells have to be different digits from each other. So this has to be 24, which makes this 24. And the only way this is 24 is, I think, if this is the influencer cell. If this is not the influencer cell, all of these will add value to this line. This one will add value to this and this. This one, yeah, so these would all add value to this cell, and or that cell. So there's going to be at least 6 digits if any of these are the influencer cells. If this is the influencer cell, all 3 of these gain that value, so that's not possible. Same with this. These 2 gain value. This one's always going to be 9 in value, but this would gain value. If this is the influencer cell, these 2 would gain value, so that's too much. If this is the influencer cell, these 2 would gain value. If this is the influencer cell, this would gain value. So I think the only way the influencer cell has to be, it has to be there, which means none of these are influencer cells, because this one, we already account for that value. So this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, guaranteed. And then this is a value of 9. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Obviously, this can't be 9 here because that is an influencer here. So this has to have a value of 9. Therefore, this is not 4 or 5 because that would be too large for an influencer plus that cell value. So these 2 essentially must add up to 9 here. This cell cannot be the influencer, but it must be next to 2 influencers. And it can't be here, so this must be the influencer here, and this must be an influencer here. Which means none of these can be influencers. None of the rest of the columns can be influencers. Nor the rest of the box, and the rest of the row. So these are all blue. This must be an influencer. This is 1, 2, or 3. This must be some form of 7, 8, 9 here. We don't know which. So this adds up to 24, with essentially this doubled plus another digit. Oh wait, no, this has to be the same digit. Because these, so this will be the sum. Oh wait, that's not going to work. This is essentially on the line twice. And then you have the sum of these. So this digit plus this digit equals that digit, right? So the sum of this line is basically these 3 digits. The sum of this cell here is the sum of these 3 digits. The sum of this line is essentially this digit twice, because this digit has that as its sum, and that added to its sum. So these 2 digits, so this digit is once, this digit's twice, and then this digit is once. So you have this digit plus this, so these 2 digits must equal that digit. So this cannot be 9, so this is 1 or 2, I believe, right? It could be 1, and this can't be 7, because this digit has to be greater than these 2. So this could be 8, 7, 1, and then this is 9, right? Then you would have 9 plus 1 plus 7. So the sum of this, the value of this cell, it would be then, so if this is 1, 7, 8, and 9, the value of this cell is equal to 1 plus 7 plus 9, which is 17. 17 plus 7 is 24. 8 plus 7 plus 9 is 24, so that satisfies that. This could be 2, 7, and 9, though, and that would work too. 2, 7, 9, which makes that 8. The value of here, again, is 7 plus 8 plus 2, which is 17, plus 7 is 24. The value of this is 9 plus 7 plus 8. So those are the possible values for these cells. One of these 2 must have, okay, so this cannot be influencer. We have influencer here. That means one of these 2 must be an influencer, because this can't be just a 6 and a 6. If there's no influencer here, these values would have to be would be the same as the digit they're in, and that would force this to be 6, 6 pair. So this cannot be an influencer here. That means these digits are 1 through 6. And these digits. Oh, that's interesting. So say we had the influencer here. That would be at minimum 1, right? Therefore, this would have to be a 6 in that case. Okay, we know the 6 has to be one of these two digits, right? Because both of them cannot be next to the influencer. One of them is, the other one is not, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. I guess it's 24. This must be... If the influencer is here, that's going to be 3 cells surrounding this, which add it to it. So this is definitely 1 through 6. These are 1 through 5. The remaining digits in the box are 7, 8, 9. That leaves this as 1 through 5. Huh. So the sum of these value is equal to this 1 digit. Right? Because this and this must equal that digit. This digit is not share an edge with an influencer. So this can never be 9. So the sum of these two digits must equal that digit. So this is almost... This has to be 8 or 9. It's almost certainly 9. This is definitely 9 here. So this must be a different 1 or 2 here, adding up with this 7 or 8 to add up to that value. And again, it could be the same. This 9 eliminates 9 here. That means in box 1, one of these is 9, which eliminates 9 in the rest of the row. So this must be 9 here. This cannot be exactly the same as that. It must be next to an influencer. That eliminates the influencer here, here, and here. Interesting. This digit cannot be with... If we had an influencer here, that would mean this cell, because the influencer can't be orthogonally adjacent to another influencer, because there's only one influencer per row, per column, and per box. That would mean this... The value of this cell would be equal to this digit plus that digit. The value of this cell would then be exactly the same, which is not allowed. So this cannot be an influencer, because if it were, that would fail. These two, one of them has to have an influencer, otherwise they would be the same digit. This has to be the influencer then. This cannot be influencer down here, so that means influencer is over there. No influencer here or here. This is a 7-8 pair as an influencer, so there cannot be 7 or 8 in the rest of the influencers. So the value of these digits is 21 without influencers. If you include an influencer here, that's 2 that's going to be added. I think this means the influencer here has to be 1. So the value of these cages is 24. With the influencer being one of these two, that means that you have to have, if an influencer is here, you're adding at least 2 times that influencer amount. If the influencer is here, you're adding at least 3 times that influencer amount. That means this can't be the influencer then. Because if you have 2 in the influencer cell, you're adding 4 to 21, which is 25, which is too big for this cage. And this adds 3. So if you try to add 1 here as an influencer, the problem is that doesn't work either. Because you're only adding 2 in value here. And that's 21 plus 2 is 23, which is not equal to 24 here. So this must be the influencer here, which means this cannot be. This must be the influencer, this non-influencer, so this must be 1, which means this can't be 1 and 8. 8 has to be one of these two, so this cannot be 8 here. It's a 7-9 pair, which eliminates 7, 9 in the rest of the row and the box. So this is not 7, this is 8, which makes this 7, so this must be 8. So this is 8 and 1 here. This cannot be 8, this is 9. So these two digits must add up to 9, so it's 2 here. These two digits must add up to 9. So it could be, cannot be 1, 8, it could be 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. This can't be 7, so this can't be 2. 2 and 1 cannot be here. This can't be 2. 1 can't, obviously cannot be here. So 5 cannot be here. This must be 1 and 5 adding up to 6. So this is 5, that's 6. This can't be 5. So again, this is a value of 6. That means 5 cannot be here. This is a 1, 3, 4 triplet, which eliminates 1, 3, 4 in the rest of the box. This can't be 3. This is 2, which forces this to be 7. That makes this a 5. So 2 cannot be here. This is 2, 3. This has to add up to 5 because you have an influencer here plus 1. So this must be 3 and 2. This is 3 and 2, which makes this a 4. So the value of this cage is 3 here, and then this is 2 plus 1, so that's 3. So that's a value of 6. The value here is 1, and this must be a value of 4 plus 1, which is 5, which adds up to 6. This is a value of 5 plus 1, that's 6, and this is a value of 6. So this cannot be 3, 6 here. It cannot be 2, 7 here. This must be a 4, 5 pair. Remaining digits in column 3 are 1, 6, 7, 9. Obviously, this can't be 1 because it has no influencer next to it. Even if it's... So this value has to be double what this is plus another digit equals another digit. So this must be 4, 1, and 9, right? The value of this cell is 4. The value of this cell is 1 plus 4, which is 5. So 4 plus 5 is 9. That means this can't be 4. This is 5. This cannot be 1 and 9. We know one of the influencers is here. Interesting. And it's at least 3, right? So this is what? 3, 6, and 3, 5, 6, or 9. 3, 5, 6, or 9. I see. So these two, so one of these is an influencer. That means if this, say this was an influencer, the value of this cell would equal this cell plus that cell, and then this cell would add up with that sum. So that would be these two cells plus that cell. The value of these two cells, this cell would be just itself. This cell would be that cell and that cell. So basically, these are going to be canceled out here. So these two must add up to 13 also, right? Because this adds up to 13, but the value of this line here is equal to 13 plus this value, if that's the influencer. It could be either side, it doesn't matter. The value of these two cells is equal to the sum of these digits plus that influencer again, because this cell also adds that value too. So these two cells must add up to 13, wherever the influencer is. So this has to be either 5, 8, or 6, 7. It cannot be 4, 9 because of the 9 in the column. Okay. Remaining digits in row 1 are 1, 4, and 5. Remaining digits in row 2 are 3, 6, and 8. This can't be 8 because of 8 in the column. This can't be 1 because of 1 in the column. So this cannot be an influencer cell of 7 or 8. It must be an influencer cell either of 5 or 6 here. 9 is here, so this can't be 9. The influencer cell in this cage, in this box, cannot be 9. Or 6 or 7. So it has to be 3 or 5 here. So where is the influencer cell which has a value of a digit of 9 in it? Cannot be here, cannot be here, can't be here because of the 9 in the row, so it must be here. So this is 9. This is 5 or 6. This is 3, 5. Cannot be 6. So it's 3 or 5 here. Okay. Let's see. This adds to 12, so these 3 digits must add up to 12. You could have 1, 8, and 3 here, 2, 7, and 3, 4, 5, and 3, 1, 6, and 5, 3, 4, and 5. So these are the possibilities. This can't be 2 or 7, though, because of the 2, 7 in the column. Okay. Remaining digits in box 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. 1 and 5 cannot be here. So 5 has to be one of these. 4 cannot be here. So either this is going to be an 8, or it's going to be a 3, 5 pair here, adding up to 8. So this cannot be 1 or 2. So we're guaranteed a 5 is here, a 4 is here. That's all. Remaining digits in row 4, we have what? 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. And this can't be 2 or 7 because of the 2, 7 in the column. This can't be 4 because of 4 in the box. This can't be 6 because of 6 in the column. Remaining digits in box 5. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Obviously, none of these could be 4. These can't be 7, and this can't be 2. So this digit must be equal to the sum of these two. Well, this can't be 1. So this is 7. Okay. So it must be equal to the sum of 2 digits. This is at least 2 here. Because it can't be 1 because of the 1 in the row. So it's 2 and 3 here at most, at least. That's 5. So 4 has to be one of these digits. This is at least 2. So these two sum up to that digit. These two sum up to that digit. So this must be this. These two digits are exactly the same. This cannot be 6 because 2 and 6 add up to 8. So this is 3 or 5 here. This is 3 or 5 here. Therefore, this must be a 6 here. So this has to be a 6, 7 pair, which to add up to 13. That eliminates 6 and 7 in the rest of the row because of the 6, 7 pair. Also eliminates 6, 7 in the rest of the column. So where is 7 in column 6 cannot be here because of the 7 in the box, can't be here because of 6, 7 pair in the box. So one of these is 7. So this could be 2 up to 2, 3, or 4 here. And this is the same digit. Because these two digits must sum to that, and so do these two. Okay. So what 3 digits add up to 12 with 3 or 5? 138 works. So 18 works. Any combination of 3, 4, 5 works. 156 works, but this can't be a 6. Where are 6 and 7 in row 7? Can't be here because of the 6, 7 pair in the box. Can't be here because of the 6, 7 pair in the box. Cannot be here because these two digits can never add up to that one if it's 6 here. So this has to be a 6, 7 pair here, which makes this not 7 because of the 7 in the column. So that's 6 and that's 7. So that eliminates 7 here. 4 is obviously one of these digits, so this cannot be 4 here. So that can't be 4. These are the same digit. So you could have 2, 3. This can never add up to 6. 2 and 3 add up to 5. 3 and... This has to be 2 either way. You can't have 4 here because one of these must be 4. Or one of these must be 4. And if you try to have 3 here, that would force us to be 5, but this can't even be 8 in value. So this is guaranteed to be 2. That's 2. That eliminates 2 here. And 2 here. This can't be 2. Where is the 2 in box 5? It has to be here. So that's 2. None of these can be 2 here. So one of those is a 2 there. So this must be 2 and 3 adding up to 5, or 2 and 5 adding up to 7. So this is 5 or 7. Okay. So again, 1, 8, and 3 works. 1, 6 cannot be here, so that doesn't work with 1, 6, and 5. 3, 4, and 5 in some possibility works here. So this could be 3, 4, 5. Can it be 2 ever here? 2 and 3 would require a 7 here, so 2 cannot be here. And 2 and 5 would have to be with 5, so that doesn't work. So these are the only possible combinations adding up to 12. 2 cannot be here. 9 cannot be here. Where's 9 in this box? It must be one of those two cells, which means where's 9 in row 8? Cannot be here because of the way the cage works, and this 9 here cannot be here because of 9 in the box, so it must be one of these two. Cannot be here because of the 9 in the column, so this is 9. This can't be 9. This is 9 here. We should have... we don't have enough. 9 has to be one of these two. Okay. 8s, we don't have that many. 7s. 7 has to be one of those two. Okay. Okay, what else are we looking for? It's basically this one, I guess. Remaining... Okay, we have to have a 1 in row 7, and it can only be... Cannot be here because of the 1 in the column. These are all filled out. So are these. This can't be 1 because of 1 in the column. This can't be 1 because even with... If this were a influencer, 1 and that influencer could never add up to 8. So this must be 1 here, which eliminates 1 here, we have a 3, 4, 5 triplet in column 4, which eliminates 3, 4, and 5 in the rest of the column. So this can't be 3, this is 8, which means this can't be 8 here. 8 has to be one of these two in column 5, because there's no other place for it. Remaining digits in box 8 then are 3, 4, 5, and 8. 8 cannot be here. 2 has to be one of these two here. We're guaranteed 3 has to be one of these 3 digits here. If it's not, this never will add up to 12 then, these 3 digits. Right, you have to, this is either 183 or 345. So this cannot be 3 here. So remaining digits in box 9 have to be 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8. So 5 cannot be here because of 5 in the column. This can't be 2 because of 2 in the column. This 6 eliminates 6 here. Okay. Okay. This cannot be influencer plus this digit. Because if this is influencer, it must be a different value than this cell. So it must be the other 3 or 5. But since this is the other 3 or 5, it can't add up with this 3 or 5 here in this cage, because this, again, this cage, these two essentially would add up to 8. But this cell couldn't be that cell then. So that would fail. So this cannot be the influencer, which means this is the influencer here. This is not the influencer here. This is the influencer here. So this must be a 6, which makes this 7, which makes this 6, which makes that 7. This is an 8, which cannot be an influencer. This has to be 3 or 5. None of these can be 8 anymore. So this becomes a 2, 3, 4 triplet, which eliminates 2, 3, and 4 in the rest of the box. This can't be 3, so this is 5. This can't be 2, 3, or 5, so it's 1. So this cannot be 1 anymore. This becomes 3, 4, and 5 to be add up. This 5 eliminates 5 here, so that's 3, which means this can't be 3 here. This can't be, this 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 4. This can't be 3, 4, or 8, so it's 5. That forces this to be 8 here because there's no other place for it. These can't be 4 again. This can't be 2 or 3 because of the 2, 3 pair in the column. Whereas the 2 in row 7, it has to be here. That's 2. This 4, 5 pair eliminates 4 and 5 in the rest of the rows. So this can't be 4 or 5. That's 3. This can't be 3, so it's 2, which makes that 3. So this can't be 1, 2, or 4, so that makes that 8. This makes this a 2. This can't be 4, 5, or 8, so it's 1. This can't be 3 or 5, so it's 4. So 2 and 3 add up to 5, so this is 5, which makes this a 7. This 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 6, which makes this 3. 4 and 5 here, eliminate 4 and 5 here, so it's 1. This 5 eliminates 5 here, so it's 3. This can't be 3 or 5, so it's 4. This can't be 3, 4, or 5, so it's 6. 5 eliminates 5 here, so it's 4 and 5. Okay. 1 eliminates 1 here. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 6 and 8. That means this can't be 6. We have a 3, 4, 3, 4 pair in row 4, which eliminates 3 and 4 in the rest of the row. This 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 4, which eliminates 4 here, so it's 5 and 4, which eliminates 4 here, so it's 3 and 4. This can't be 3 or 4, so it must be 1. This can't be 1 or 4, so it must be 3. Remaining digit in column 9 is a 1. Remaining digits in column 8 are 5 and 8, and this can't be 5 because of 5 in the row, so that makes that 8, which makes this 5. This 7 eliminates 7 here. Where's the 7 in column 7? It has to be here. So that's 7, which makes this 6. 7 eliminates 7 here, so it's 6. Remaining digits in row 5 are 8 and 9. This can't be 8 because of 8 in the column, so that's 9, which makes that 8. 9 eliminates 9 here, so it's 7 and 9. That leaves this digit as a 3 and this digit as a 7. And that's the solution. Pretty cool. I've never run into this influencer cell thing. Pretty interesting idea. And definitely we had a very limiting factor at the very beginning here. And then that sort of led to all of these. So it's sort of just, led from one to the other. Nice logic throughout. Very solid puzzle. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.